everyone. Today I'm going to share with you my testimony of how I came to know Jesus. So my story starts off with me as a kid. I was just really happy and imaginative, always having adventures and that sort of thing. I grew up in a Christian home and a loving family. I had a loving family, and I became a Christian when I was 11. So I just remember, like, I was very sick. I was in bed. I was on bed rest, and I had some books that I was reading, and one of them happened to be Pilgrim's Progress, or Little Pilgrim's Progress, and it was a very, like, scary book for me, because after reading it, I wasn't sure if I was going to make it to heaven or not. I wasn't sure where I was going. It really opened my eyes, and I believe this is how God drew me into him. And, like, I remember talking to my mum and saying, like, "Mum, am I going to go to heaven or am I going to go to hell, you know?" And I was like, "Mum, I don't know if I believe in God," and all that. And my mum was like, "Do you believe in Jesus?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Well, you're a Christian then." And I was like, "Really? Is that all it is?" And then, like, we said a prayer, but I still had this very anxiousness, like, I was very anxious, so I had this anxious feeling for a while. And one day, I was with my mum and 3 of her friends, and we were driving to some gardens to, like, just outside of our town, and we were in the car, and then, I remember having, like, this pain in my back, and I believe it was from all the, like, anxiousness and the worry I was carrying, which is really funny, because in the book Pilgrim's Progress, he carries this burden on his shoulders, and then he lays it down at the cross. So, yeah. And, I remember, like, we were driving, and then all of a sudden I started to cry. And it wasn't like normal physical tears that you could see, but it was like an internal crying. I don't really know how to describe it, other than it was like I was just crying on the inside. But it was kind of like showing to others on the outside, if that makes sense. The ladies in the car started praying for me, because they could see how upset I was. So they started to pray for me, and then I felt like this peace of God, just like the peace of God, fall on me, and like I could just feel his presence. And I had this feeling, like, in my stomach, or not my stomach, but like in inside of me, and it was like this amazing feeling of God's Holy Spirit. And he was like, I think he was like working in me, and as one of the ladies told me, actually, she said, like, I was like, "I can feel this, like, presence," and she's like, "That's God working in you." And yeah, so yeah, and then I remember walking out of the car, or getting out of the car, and just walking along, and then I saw this beautiful lake, and it was just, the sun was shining on it, and I remember, like, just wanting to walk into the water and have the water, like, sweep over me, and I knew that was because I wanted to be baptized. So a couple months or a few weeks later, I got baptized, and then fast forward to a few years ago, or 5 years ago, I went to high school, and I started slowly, like, drifting away from God. I walked away from him, and then I began to sin, and I struggled with a lot of just not good things. And And also I had a lot of mental health problems. I went into a mental health ward about probably 6 or 7 times in the last 5 years. So yeah, I've been diagnosed with so many different things like psychosis, schizophrenia, anxiety, depression, and bipolar. So, but I know God has set me free from all of that, and I'm really happy now, and I'm free in Him. And yeah, I know God has a plan and a purpose for my life. So after I had those mental health problems, I remember I just said to God, I don't want to control my life anymore, and I don't want to be on my own. I want you to come back into my life, and I want you to take over now. And like, I was just like, I keep ruining my life. And I said that to Him. I was just like, I keep ruining my life, and I don't want to do this by myself. Can you please, come back into my life again? And so I've been following God ever since, and I have this incredible peace, and I know one day I am going to go to heaven. So because of what Jesus did on the cross, He died for us so that we could have a relationship with God and spend eternity with Him. So yeah, so I hope this really encouraged you and blessed you. And if you want to become a Christian, all you have to do is believe in your heart that Jesus Christ is Lord, and believe in your heart that God raised Jesus from the dead, and confess with your mouth that Jesus Christ is Lord, and you shall be saved. And in the Bible it also says that if anyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. So yeah. Yeah, I hope this video really blesses you and encourages you. And yeah. So I love you all. God bless, and goodbye.